Welcome to the Switch Clicks Podcast, episode 101, recorded on September 13th, 2022. In this episode, we will be discussing our thoughts on the Nintendo Direct that was live-streamed earlier today. My name is Kaiser. I hope don't forget that name, alright? And our co-hosts, Dakota.
Yo.
Nathan.
I'm crying tears right now.
Good. Tears for the Kingdom.
Wink.
And the very backbone for podcasts, Tyler.
Wow. I would not agree with that statement, but thanks anyway.
In celebration for the 100th episode, we are giving away 20 celebratory posters featuring all 100 YouTube thumbnails from each podcast episode.
This contest won't cost you a single penny. It is only open to North American listeners, though.
Check out the forum in the episode description for additional details.
What was everybody's favorite JRPG?
I think mine was Mario Party 2.
Mine was
that's a good one.
GoldenEye. Mine was
That's
GoldenEye.
also a good one. Mine's Kirby.
I could see a Kirby JRPG. I mean, it wouldn't be much different. All JRPGs end with defeating God, and
Spoilers!
Yeah,
Spoilers! What are you doing?
all Kirby games end with fighting God too, so...
Spoilers!
Speaking of God, and god-awful designs, Fire Emblem Engage was announced.
I love
Oh,
the
God.
Aquafresh logo.
I love being able to see the leaked info again.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that existed in the
I
leaks.
didn't
I
know it
was like,
existed.
I was like, okay, whatever.
So for those that don't know, a new Fire Emblem game was announced to be released January 20th, 2023. I'm glad it's going to be coming in the next 4 months or so. I'm
I'm
excited
not.
for that.
I'm actually much more worried because it's coming out in the next few months.
And first of all, the logo looks so modern. It's kind of ugly. And the game was kind of leaked. Screenshots were leaked of the game a few months ago. And the screenshots look rough.
It
They
was
looked rough.
Yeah, it was like that one main character in front of the reception desk. Like that was pretty much all you could make out of it. It looks
It's
more
a
like
little bit worrying that it
Yeah.
seems like Fire Emblem games are getting released every year, close to, because it feels like that's a Pokemon rabbit hole no other company wants to go down. It does feel like Three Houses just came out, and I feel like the wait between Three Houses and this is very different than the wait between... What was the last... Before Three Houses, was it Fate?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Echo
Was it the one... I think it was the one
Oh,
with
Echoes of
Camilla.
Valentia, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
2017. It was like during the Switch's launch or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if you forgot it existed.
I
I
didn't know
don't
it
because I'm a Fire Emblem fan. Unfortunately, that's a title. That's a badge I do not wear with honor sometimes.
But when it was first shown off, this was the first trailer they showed in the Direct. I thought it was Genshin Impact for a second. Only because
Why don't you
how
believe that?
clean the lines are for the models and the cutscenes that they showed. They look a lot cleaner than they normally do. Or am I crazy?
You might be crazy.
You're crazy. To be honest, what's it called? A lot of more of those anime-esque 3D cutscenes, right? Wherever showcases kind of lead towards that cleaner style, really. It's not surprising. I don't blame you for thinking it's Genshin. It's more so just how things look now.
Mm.
Yeah. It's kind of the modern anime style, you're right.
No, what's it called? A lot of the designs, the main illustrator or designer, I don't know if it's character designer, but main illustrator for or Engage has actually done stuff for VTubers. Not unsurprisingly.
I mean,
Ah.
the main characters do look like they could be VTuber models, so...
That's true. From the new characters, it looked a little bit more in variety of characters, less leaning into how Three Hopes leaned into the old-timey castle elegant style. This one, you almost get a wide variety of different characters, and it's a little bit better. You can feel what each character.
If you don't like the new characters, the gimmick of this game is that it's Fire Emblem Heroes, but real this
Yeah.
That's being very disingenuous.
Well,
Very
I mean, it is
disingenuous.
a very very vague term.
Yeah, they haven't confirmed much.
Fire
For the
Emblem
most
Heroes in real life.
That's if only people who play Fire Emblem Heroes had a life.
Ouch. That's you.
Yikes.
Do you think I still play it? No. Well, I'm free from that curse. All I play is fight games now. It's not much. That doesn't really. improve my
New curse
standing.
acquired. Speaking of JRPG, Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Didn't play the game.
Even though barely anything was revealed except for one
Empty
character.
claps.
Yeah, for the most part, it's just more stuff.
Yeah,
It's
not
nothing
expecting
too too
Xenoblade
crazy.
3, the more fun stuff edition.
yes, you pay $3 for you pay a lot of money just to get 11 minutes of more gameplay.
Yeah,
So
to be honest, actually no. Considering the scale
I-
of Xenoblade's gonna be far more.
Yeah, Xenoblade takes like everything 10 times more than what you expect, but
110 hours.
110 hours.
Okay. This is off topic, but I just realized that the next coming up is Splatoon, and I haven't got the new Splatoon game yet. How many of you have the new Splatoon game?
Just me and Nathan.
Just you and Nathan? Okay, would you recommend? Because I'm kind of on the fence if I want to buy it or not. Would it
What's
be worth
stopping
it?
you?
'Cause I haven't played Splatoon since the first, and I got the first Splatoon
What's
like
stopping you?
3 months before it ended. What's stopping me is that I just don't want to waste $80. I have a limited supply of money.
It's a fresh new game. We're gonna have
You
fun.
probably might.
Well,
want
did
to
you
think
like
that.
the first game?
I
Yeah.
did like it, but
Do you
also
think
I had to play it in like the most scuffed conditions ever because my Wii U gamepad drifted.
And are your Pro controllers drifting right now?
I think the jump between 1 and 3 is just an insane jump. So I
It'll
think
be
it's worth it.
jarring, and the game
I
will.
haven't
The game
played
will.
Splatoon to be fair in like 6 years. I
Oh,
don't
wow.
think
I
I
feel
won't
old.
remember the first one like at all. So
I wasn't even a fan of Splatoon back then, so I can't say anything.
Normies. I'm kidding. I think it's worth it. Like I've bought
Yeah.
every single game, and it's still worth it for me.
I might. So
Yeah,
if I were
games.
to get Splatoon, would I pick Gear Grubber Fun? Bring with me on a deserted island.
Gear.
Fun,
That is the next
Interesting.
Splatfest.
because you can make your own gear, find some food, you find some grub.
I
but you
think
can't really
Gear
bring
is the
fun.
correct answer.
I am also on Team Gear.
Gear is the objectively the correct answer.
Objectively,
Yes.
gear is the correct answer.
But then we have Guilty Gear.
Get out of here.
You might feel guilty for picking Gear, as it'd be weird to pick the objectively right answer. I do agree. I agree with what you were bringing up.
I think Big Man might have gotten snubbed because he got fun. Like when you're on a deserted island, fun
honestly-
is not the main priority.
No, you do not
Honestly,
want to have fun on
I
an
think
island.
if you're
but-
not picking, I think fun might be like the second biggest. Because if you're not picking Gear, then you obviously don't care about survival. So you might as well pick fun.
Yeah, but there's stands for these 3 characters now. So
That's
I
true.
see.
People
Wait,
do
which one's
prefer
Gear? Is it the one with the forehead?
no, Gear
no.
is for
Shiver,
Shiver,
blue one.
the blue one.
Ah, okay. I can still pick it in my right mind.
Grub is
So-
the forehead.
Okay.
Ouch.
Sorry, I think it's more like a 6 head, but
True.
still work.
6 heads being a little generous.
Fair enough, fair enough. Speaking of being generous, I don't know how to weigh this. Octopath Traveler
Oh.
2!
I mean, I think
Yeah.
the first game was super successful. I'm not sure about Triangle Strategy. I haven't heard much about that.
I've heard nothing about Triangle Strategy.
Of course,
Well,
it's
yeah,
a strategy
yeah,
RPG. Well, do you think people are gonna play it? No, it's not Fire Emblem. People are gonna play it for the gameplay.
And they had no
What do you
reason to
expect
release
of
a mobile
people?
game.
Why do you think people play Fire Emblem now?
I know the problem with the first Octopath was that it had a pretty poor late game, so maybe this one will fix all its problems and it'll be a fun
No.
playthrough for the whole thing.
Knowing Square Enix, no, not really.
I
Fair
also
enough.
think this initial trailer, did a lot better job explaining the game than the first reveal trailer of Octopath Traveler just initially did. I understood,
Yeah.
okay, there's 8 characters that you play as, and every character has their separate personalities, and none of them really fuse together in my mind. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of hooked if I can find it on discount.
Yeah. And speaking of not fusing together, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Speaking of finding something on discount.
I think it's gonna go. That game's gonna
Yes.
go on like 90% discount when the infamous Ubisoft discounts run.
It's true. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is the only Mario game I've ever seen on sale.
True.
I bought it for like 75% off on Mario Day. Like it is not like
Mar 10 Day, baby.
Mario.
So will anyone buy it?
No.
Probably not.
A discount, heavy discount, sure, but I wouldn't really buy it. Plus, I still need to finish.
Would you say you'd get it if it were free?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a free
Okay,
game. Who wouldn't?
speaking of getting something if it were free, Mario Party 1, 2, 3, and GoldenEye and Pokemon Stadium
Hey,
1 and 2
Sure.
could
you
be
wanna
free
pay,
if you just download them illegally.
Or-
Dubiously legal means.
Dubiously
Obviously legally.
or you pay like a
Dubiously
super
legal
expensive
means.
subscription. Honestly, the only thing I'm excited about from that is GoldenEye because
It's goddamn GoldenEye.
it's
I
GoldenEye.
I think if NSO Deluxe Pack or whatever it's called wasn't so expensive, this would actually be the thing that would bring me into it.
GoldenEye is basically like that first. I would say the first modern day shooter game because it.
Well,
kind of
that's like
invented the
Doom.
controls. No, like
Well-
what I mean is that they invented the controls for modern shooter games.
Yeah, it's the iconic game.
Yeah, like it was.
That's true.
It had It had it
It's so
started off with
iconic
full
they didn't even
multiplayer.
name it in the direct. They just went ba ba ba
Yeah, they
ba
didn't
ba
need to name it.
ba ba ba, and then everyone's
And
like,
all
oh,
my-
it's that one.
No time to play any of the Mario Kart maps.
Oh,
Mario Kart!
bitch.
Yay! They showed 2 new maps, one from Mario Kart Tour, and I didn't pay attention to the second.
Peach's
Peach's,
Garden is from
I-
Mario
I
Kart.
just-
Yes.
Okay, never
I just
mind.
tuned out a lot.
No one cares.
Peach's Garden's based.
I thought it was weird that they only showed 2. Like, at least show us all of them.
I thought it was weird that they didn't even show a new map per se. Because
When
I
did,
know
did they say
Oh,
when the Wave
sorry.
3 was coming
I'm
out?
surprised.
I think holiday season.
Yeah,
Okay, then
just
they want to save map to build hype.
I'm just
Speaking
hoping
of
for Maple
holidays,
Treeway.
Pokemon reveals.
Speaking of holidays, though, why
I
in the
guess-
world is golfing delayed to holiday?
Because it's
Nintendo
too
Switch?
hard to port all the maps from the Wii. Oh.
Excuse me, they had this on the Wii U. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's like saying you don't know how to copy it. That's saying like you don't know how to copy and paste.
I think they're just gonna be using like complete different maps for the most part
Right,
because
They
what's it
They
called?
announced that they're going to use all 21 maps from the previous
Yeah,
games.
they said 21 maps from the previous games.
And some new ones.
I don't
Yeah,
think
and
they
some-
confirmed new ones.
If they
Maybe they
don't,
are
that's actually really unfortunate. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't see any details or anything obvious, but on the bottom of the screen they said 21 maps are returning from the Wii U, something in that nature.
Not,
Wii Sports
completely
Series.
surprised.
I was thinking to myself while watching this direct, like, man, it's kind of crazy how consistent the quality of like Nintendo games has been. Like, when's the last bad Mario game? And then I just completely blanked out all the sports games that have had bad, like mixed to bad receptions.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of crazy how consistent of a quality, arguably, Mario has had recently outside of spin-offs.
Yeah. Well, it's their best.
It's their franchise.
It's their franchise, so they want to make
It's
it good.
It's the hall. It's
Then
the
why'd
hallmark
you
of what
make
they are.
Mario New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe whatever edition?
Because
make
the
money.
game sold. And they sold well.
Just to redeem themselves. They want to personally redeem themselves.
Do you think there'll be another New Super Mario Bros. Game?
At
Probably
least
not.
not in a decade.
Fair enough. Hey, remember when we were talking about Fire Emblem Heroes? Speaking of mobile games, there was a pretty large section on Pikmin Bloom.
Oh, that brings back so
Yeah.
many memories. I remember talking about
Let's
this.
go.
in, like-
I remember not downloading the game and being like, why would I play this when I can play Pokemon Go instead?
I remember
Yeah.
I remember playing this game 6 hours ago.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
have to assume they got him on stage, Shigeru Miyamoto, only because the game would not. No, it wasn't getting downloaded.
Yeah, it's dead. It's
There's still
honestly
some
dead.
heavy marketing behind it because I think the Nintendo of America account retweets some stuff from Niantic or the Pikmin Bloom account.
Not surprised.
Yeah,
But
but it's not really.
The fact that they had to do like what was 5 minutes of this presentation on a freaking mobile game, that was sad.
Shigeru Miyamoto walked in and said, hey, I've been playing Pikmin Bloom a lot, and I realized no one's playing it. So I want this to be in. They're like, but no one
That
no one talks about
exactly
Pikmin
it.
Bloom. What are you doing? He's like, I want to talk about Pikmin Bloom. And he did a passing mention of the Mario movie, the one thing I was hoping in this Nintendo Direct.
Well,
Oh yes, it is
Trailer.
in production.
when he said, when the guy beforehand, I forget his name, when he said, "Hey, we have a special guest," I'm like, no. Then Shigeru Miyamoto showed up, and I'm like, no, please, not today. Today is not the day you drop a trailer from the Mario movie. And then he mentioned it, and I like doubled down to my own head. I'm like, please don't.
I am
I'm
legit.
praying you don't. And he just started talking about Pikmin. I'm like, okay, good, Pikmin 4. Okay.
And then
Also
he
armed.
talks about this mobile game.
And then he talks about the mobile game. That just
Yeah,
killed
speaking
me.
of Pikmin 4,
Just-
Pikmin 4, baby, let's go. Ooh,
Yeah.
all right, next. What's next?
Nobody
Yeah,
cares
that's what I
about
meant to say.
discount. No, nobody cares about discount Pokemon Go.
It's funny that
Pikmin
Pikmin 4 took what, like 7 years to develop. Like 5 years ago, he said it was almost done.
Yeah, well, because Nintendo is Nintendo.
It'll be ready. It'll be
It-
ready when I say
yes,
it's ready.
ready when it's ready. It's ready when it's ready. So
Yeah, I have to assume they were talking about that 3DS game. What is it? Hey Olimar? What was it called?
hey Pikmin.
Hey Pikmin. Yeah, that one's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that one was about.
Speaking of weird,
Ugh.
Bayonetta 3.
Weird.
Censored.
Go away.
Weird. And censored.
More like awesome.
Weird. More
I
like
haven't
Yeah.
even played
traditional part
Bayonetta.
of
I
the
just
video.
like the music.
Oh yeah, gotta love the Fly Me to the Moon remix.
Now
I
she's-
do
now she's-
own the first Bayonetta game. Haven't
Which one?
beaten it. Played the first 3 minutes and went, I need to play this when like no one's in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
surprised.
I think I'll eventually play it, but they recently released, I think they're going to recently release physical copies of the first game, and I really want them all physically. But I don't want to hash out the extra money for it, because I can go get the second and first game physically, but it's only includes a download code for the first game. So I'm
Yeah,
you,
I
really
got
debating on it.
you could choose
I
not to
have
get it
the
on
first one
Switch. At least
physically.
the first game.
For the Xbox. I got it at a used game store for like $5.
Just get it on your like 360 or PS3.
It's kind of
Eh.
a shame because I
Oh, yes,
really
that's not the relic.
I think as time goes on, I gotta say, Bayonetta 1 Bayonetta design is the weakest of the 3.
Oh, new one is big reference to young Bayonetta in terms of like the hairstyle.
Hey, so you guys remember Smash 4? No one liked it. Everyone hated Bayonetta. Smash 4, a lot of people call it Smash 4 because it doesn't have like a proper number in its title. Speaking of numbers in their titles, did you know that Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is called that because in Japan, Biohazard is the name of the Resident Evil series. So in Japan, it's called Biohazard 7 Resident Evil. And both covers use the text font in a very creative way to add the 7 into their logo. For Japan, the Z in Biohazard's a 7. And in everywhere else, Resident Evil has the 7 in Roman numerals. That's cool. Anyway, Resident Evil Village 7, 2, and 3 are all coming to Nintendo Switch via the cloud. Isn't that wacky?
What
love
a
paying
roundabout
for money.
way
I
to
love-
talk
I
about
love-
this.
I love paying for absolutely nothing tangible.
Yeah, the second it showed up on screen for Village, I'm like, okay, where's the cloud? There it is. I just
Even the
didn't
naming
believe it.
convention, like even the naming convention of it sounded like, what were you thinking? Like,
What's the trend?
call it Cloud Edition, call it Cloud version. No, just say Cloud. Like, what is Cloud Strife going to appear in this game?
Yes,
Mm.
big sword.
Speaking of Big Sword, Kirby has a Big Sword as his Final Smash in Super Smash Bros. And speaking of
no.
Kirby, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe comes out February 24th, 2023.
I mean, yep, it's a Kirby game.
It's I actually really like.
It's like the
Return
Kirby
to
game I've been
Dreamland.
wanting to play. So
Yeah.
I won't buy it, but I'll still be wanting to play it. And now it's deluxe.
Well, are you like crying over it though?
No, it's just a game I've always wanted to play.
Okay.
So I'll
Oh.
still want to play it, but now it looks better.
Good thing I have it.
Fair enough.
Yay!
You have it.
Speaking of something nobody can ignore, and especially not Nathan, because this is the thing he's been
Do
waiting
not
for.
bring this up.
I was going to say, speaking of deluxe, it has an L in it, just like Legend of Zelda. And I think that would be been better. I think that's a
Yeah.
smoother.
You know how passionate I am about this.
I think a little
Hurt my
bit.
feelings.
Dude,
I think you're a little bit passionate.
What the hell?
all right. I know you're choking behind your tears, but hold it together, man. Hold it together.
God damn you!
Tears?
Tears.
Don't you?
Legend of Zelda. Topic.
They finally showed some more footage of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, and they finally put a name and box art and
Don't
a
worry.
logo.
Don't say it.
to
I'm
it.
gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Don't
The
say
Legend of
Finally.
Zelda. Tot.
Taunt.
it. Talk.
But
Taunt.
Someone said TikTok actually.
Legend of
I just
Zelda.
see TOTK. TikTok.
TikTok. Someone on the wiki said TikTok, and I.
Anyways, Nathan, you may not now talk about the trailer.
Okay, so can I be honest with you? The music was
No.
weird. The music in this trailer is weird.
May have been the point though.
Might have been the point. Also, I don't know what to say about that mural at the beginning. It was probably a nice little way to mirror Breath of the Wild's whole situation with the prophecy. You know, have a bunch of have like a whole army around it, and then have this central figure there.
Yeah, it's like a
That's funny
hidden
Dawson
prophecy.
done it.
And then they kind of just showed us Zelda falling to her death. in
Oh,
that mural.
finally,
Took long
And then-
enough.
another Zelda.
She's had
and
enough legends.
Zelda standing up, or is that some
No.
other girl that we don't know about?
I can't believe it. She stood up. Oh my
She
God.
stood up! Holy
This is so
crap.
stupid.
No one could survive that fall.
No one could have survived that fall, indeed.
No way. It's almost like this is her legend.
And then we just see Link opening giant doors like we normally see.
You mean Zelda?
I mean, sorry, Zelda. We see Zelda opening the giant doors and then running out into the bright sunlight.
Breath of the Wild shot
And-
again. Breath
Wild
of the
shot,
Wild.
yes. Breath of the Wild
Breath
shot
of the
again.
Wild, or I guess Tears of the Kingdom shot.
Tears of the Kingdom shots with not as dramatic music as previous trailer, but okay. And we're seeing lots of green and lots of green and lots of green
Wow.
magic and lots of green.
Loving the
much. Yeah.
green.
Pretty much just magic.
Yeah, we didn't really see much gameplay or much anything that like really exposes what the point of the game is yet.
Yeah.
But I don't think there needs to be a point because Zelda fans will cry over anything
No.
that is given us.
5 seconds of broken Master Sword footage was already enough to break us.
Exactly.
So this is like, yeah.
I would call you weak, but they could show Glab, the new Pokemon, and I'd pass away. So
Pokemon community.
I do find it odd that earlier you said that the music wasn't really music when the first reveal trailer for the Breath of the Wild sequel, that was like backwards music.
Yeah,
like
that
barely.
was, but that was music in
Distorted.
At least it's keeping it
less.
consistent.
And then the second one had like holy dramatic music. But then we come to this and it's like really chill.
I hope that Tears of the Kingdom has a fight against a zombie Ganon. That would be cool.
I'm not sure what to say about it. Nintendo made it really, really clear that it was going to spoil the story, but let's just say
Legend of Zelda. Something bad happened.
Exactly.
Like that's what the title is.
Oh no,
So-
instead we're getting Tears of the Kingdom or Tears of the Kingdom, according to some people.
Nah, it's
Some people
tears.
Some people think it's Tears. Some people think it's Tears. Some people think it's a play on words.
Maybe.
Uh,
Here's my like quick
hmm.
thoughts. I have to say, the logo, where the Master Sword ends and it becomes like a red and green pattern. That
Yeah.
reminds me of the Twilight Princess. So that is pretty obvious, I think. And then like the tears stuff, I just remember there's a lot of tear finding in Twilight
Yep.
Princess as well. So I
Yep.
have to
Whoa.
assume there's a connection with that.
Oh, there's also the zone I also had a mirror. Apparently that connects, even though they're in the opposite side.
So
Mhm.
I'm also thinking with where they show Zelda on the wall on the mural. She's like holding out her hand to the left side of the screen and they chop it off. I have to
That's-
assume that's like maybe the mirror dimension or whatever, could be the
Twilight
Twilight
realm.
dimension. So maybe we see either Mifa or there's a dark Zelda, right?
Hilda, yeah.
Hilda. Yeah, that's her name. So I have to assume there's gonna be another world. And this could be
yeah.
the sky dimension that they're just really marketing weird, or just maybe like a mirror dimension. We explore the same map
Well-
twice.
I love
I-
the
by
big stone stingray that flies.
I mean, I actually wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of new things in the same map because I know Age of Calamity. I will never shut up about this game. They kind of reused a bunch of locations and just started throwing a bunch of stuff and changing the layouts. I would imagine they'll probably do the same here. Otherwise, they'd be wasting their time with how long they've been working on this game.
Yeah, and if they just release the game and it's a direct sequel, like it happens seconds after, then what's the point of like going and adventuring the world that we just did in the previous game? They gotta change it up somehow.
Exactly. It's gotta take some time. No one's gonna want to pick up where we left
Takes
off.
a while for a kingdom to cry.
Yeah,
It is very
maybe
wild.
100 years or so. Wink, wink.
You know, they already did that, and they're never
They
gonna
can
do
do it again. Who's stopping them?
that's
100
gonna-
years does pass quite often.
You know, I could take a
True.
nap. It'll feel like,
Just go take a
a
nap.
decade or two just
Just go
passes
take a
by.
nap.
Legend
Or
of Zelda. Link took a big nap and now everything's messed up again.
Yeah, I guess you
Fellas.
can say he. I guess you can say he's
What do we say? As we definitely always say, every time there's a Nintendo Direct, we say, thank you, Nintendo. No one's saying it with me. Thank
No,
you,
we're not saying it.
Nintendo.
No.
Speaking of thank you for joining us and discussing our thoughts on today's Nintendo Direct. We would love it if you could follow us on Twitter and listen to future episodes on Spotify and iTunes. Join our community Discord server to continue today's discussion. And we'll see you next time on the Switch Clicks podcast.
First try.
Actually solid.
you actually did that.